So if you've watched me for any reasonable amount of time, you know I don't do reaction videos. I might have done one in the past before you go, oh, I've seen you do one. But, you know, it's not something I make a habit of. But this one, I really just wanted to take this section of the stream and share this with you because it's brilliant. And it's by Dr Kael. So if you watch me, you know me, you probably know Dr Kael because he's come on and educated us on prop paladin farming, boosting multiple times, appeared on lots of podcasts, including Cargos's and my own. So I had to put this on. Firstly, this is purely for him, not for me, obviously. But if you want to like and subscribe, I'm not going to stop you. But I'll put his details down below. If you want to make gold in TBC, then this is a great way. If you're a prop paladin, obviously everything that comes from Dr Kael is normally prop paladin related. And it's LBRS, and it's just a really good detailed guide on trash packs. And the thing I really admire about this is, even myself, I'll make a video and I'll edit out all the bits where it goes wrong. Everybody does it. You know, you're not going to put in your fouls. He puts them in. But it's a great way to learn. So you're learning from his mistakes, and he's quite openly saying, you know, you're going to need more gear for this bit, you're going to need more gear for that bit. But ultimately, hang around till the end of the video because the amount of gold per hour is actually really good, where it'll only take a couple of days, a few days of casual farming as a prop paladin in LBRS to actually be able to afford your epic flying mount. So as I say, I'm going to put Dr Kael's details in the description below. Please do go over and give him a sub. Follow him over on Twitch. He live streams regularly as well. He's now in the beta, as you'll find out in this video, obviously. So yeah, as I say, enjoy. Oh wait, one more thing. Blizzard have now announced another round of beta testing for Karazhan. So if you missed it last time, they've said a few days, and we're starting tomorrow night, 10 PM GMT. So Dr Kael and myself are actually teaming up for it tomorrow night, which is going to be cool. So come check it out on twitch.tv/Scottejaye87 and give us a follow. We're going to be doing 1 or 2 Karazhan runs every night from now until they close it again. So it's going to be fun. Get involved. Enjoy Dr Kael. Well, he's got some moves.
Welcome to Dr. Kael's Guide to Lower Blackrock Spire Farming. Today I'm going to be going over one of my favorite farms and potentially maybe a high gold farm spot, depending on the safe spots if I'm able to find them. This is also my first video from TBC Classic Beta, and I want to just take a moment and shout out to my boy Scottejaye. He has given me the key to beta. It was kind of a group effort too. There was somebody else won it. He wanted to make sure I got on beta, so we're gonna go ahead and also thank that unnamed individual, which I'm still trying to find his name out 3 days later. But thank you guys. You guys are really made this happen, and I found out Blackrock Spire is a little more tricky than I originally thought, if you've watched my streams before. But let's get into it, because I did end up figuring out, for the most part, a pretty highly valuable run that I decided to take a video of. All right, this will be the start of the poll. I have the Scottejaye shield on. I have details is the only add-on I got. Thanks to Finga, Finga. You're the boss, man. I'm also gonna shout you out. You helped me on the beta. He ended up getting me a Skullflame shield, Demon Forge breastplate. Ended up testing those out. Again, not surprised. They're really not that good. Scottejaye shield still will be better than those, but the engineering shield will always take the trophy when farming. Anyways, run in the door, pull all the mobs, and I'll show you kind of here as I run down just to where my first kill spot is. I keep these pulls within reach, right? This is not the most optimal farm gear. I have the full dungeon set, lower city mace. Other than that, just kind of odds and end pieces. To no one's surprise, with my UI, you can see I'm clicking my ass off in this video, but just it's more about the content, not the gameplay. So do as I say, not as I do. The one thing to keep in mind with lower Blackrock Spire is when mobs get low, they're going to want to run away, And you need to keep that in mind, because on some of these pulls, if you pull to the improper spot, they're going to run and grab more mobs. And you'll see I'll end some of these pulls with almost no health and mana, meaning I don't have a lot of room for error. You can see I'm checking Demon Forge Breastplate, and it only did 1k healing in that whole pull, so not too much. But I just kind of looked at my details, and you can see I was checking it out. Now here's the same exact pull, but this time I'm trying ledge. Ledge seems to always be the best strat. You back your ass up right to a ledge, like another step back and I'm gonna fall. Be very careful here. The mobs seem to stack better. I was getting a higher block chance. You can see I'm literally, my back heel of my Paladin is off the ledge. This seems to be the best strat if possible. You're not going to LOS some of the caster mobs, but
that's
they'll
interesting,
go
actually.
pretty quick, and then after their they'll follow in and stack up. The second pull is the pull that is the most profitable part behind it. I was doing this on live stream and kind of discussing. I call this the Warlock pull, by the way. This is where you're going to pull the Blackrock Warlocks, who they open a portal to. It's a red portal. You can see them there. They have a chance of summoning a Felguard Elite, and he's technically a boss, and he has a loot table that has demonic runes. It's got random blues.
That health is really scary.
Nuking him down. He's my leech target. Now, if I were able to pull these Warlocks and then find a safe spot, the idea here is to keep spawning Felguard Elites and keep killing them. Now, the Thrashblade sells for 4 gold. The blue gloves sell for 3 some gold. They also disenchant into large brilliance. And you can see here, it'll slow down and I'll start looting. These mobs that I'm looting, they drop a lot of silver. Between 20 and 50 silver a mob. Now, the dogs you kill are just going to drop meat. But 20 to 50 silver a mob is pretty ridiculous. Meaning your high gold per... Your gold per hour on the raw end of it is going to be very strong. I think cloth will always remain twice as value to sell on the auction house as it is to vendor it. But if that's not the case, then you can kind of decide. You might have to, maybe completing the Uber's key would keep you from ever looting this key, so that'll be something I'll probably knock out so I don't have to keep getting them dropping the Seal of Ascension. But there'll be a second video here that I'm gonna show of the exact same pull in a different spot that I decide to stop. This is the spot I prefer, but this next spot will be kind of over towards the ogres.
Yeah, it really makes you realise how much AoE looting would be quite beneficial. Only for paladins and mages, but you know.
So again, you can see here I am running. I'm just going to kind of wait for me to get to this ledge as it's kind of sped up. But again, here's with the ledge. I back up right to this ledge. The mobs aren't able to surround me. They are still able to hit me on the side. You can see on the right and left side of me, they're pretty far up. And I choose not to move. I'm kind of rooted. I back up a little more. It doesn't really change much of a difference. But this is the other spot I end up choosing and deciding to kill. But I tried both.
His health is literally giving me heart palpitations. Just watching it go up and down, I'm like, oh no, don't die on a YouTube video.
Both areas, I just like the first one a little better. And I hope one thing you're noticing is on all these pulls, I am having to bubble, I'm having to holy light, I'm still using like some potions that I either loot or had. It's a little trickier than you would expect. It's not just easy breezy and you pull the mobs and they just
He definitely died there. He definitely
when I'm
died
lesser
there.
geared, I do have to do more work to get the mobs. And I know this kind of cut to our third pull here, but I dropped down on the ledge. So I dropped all the way down to where the Arcanite Reaper guy would be at. Pulled all the mobs into the first corner, and this is a kill phase part of this. I don't have the short clip of me gathering them up. I went and looked through my videos. I just don't have it. It's not a crazy big pull. I keep these two pulls separate. You can see me kind of LOSing here around these corners in order to get the caster mobs to come back in. Again, getting pretty low in health. I'm in a bubble. I'll top off here. I think maybe I choose to do damage rather than spend the mana healing. So pretty cut and dry pull, and I'll do this in 2 different pulls. The next pull here is where Roba the Archmage is. Here I have the Arcanite Reaper guy, the rare slash the elite that drops the Arcanite Reaper plan. He's the boss. So I pull right below the ramp where you go up to kill the spiders. When I get more geared, I'll end up doing these 2 pulls in 1 pull, but in the meantime, this is what I do. Now, the one thing to keep in mind with these casters in general, this lower area, is the Dark Weavers dispel your buffs. So you got to make sure you always have Sanctuary on. They'll rip off your buffs occasionally. You might lose all your buffs. You might lose 1 or 2 of them. Just keep an eye on your buffs because they do spam dispel when you have a lot of them. You should resist most of them, but in the event you don't, you will lose occasionally some buffs. Another thing to keep in mind is they'll put a flame debuff on you. Now you can see I have the curse, but they'll actually put a magic debuff on you that makes you take increased fire damage. Go ahead and dispel that as soon as you can. And
I mean, like, genuinely, what do we think that, like, don't get me wrong, you can see that this is good. Like you said, you know, mobs dropping 20 to 50 silver. It's good sort of gold per hour. But do we think it's, you know, could it be more profitable solo dungeon farming, you know, stealth farming, mines, herbs? Or, you know, is it just because it's got so much raw gold potential and it doesn't matter about luck? You know, you always... It'd be interesting. I hope he gets into how much he actually gets in raw gold a run, because that would be interesting to know.
Here we have the spider pull, but I'm also, luckily with this video, this clip, I mean, I'm going to discuss what happens if you you mess the ledge strat up, and you're about to see what happens. Here is I'm backing up, trying to get right to the ledge, and I fall. On that fall, if you're, I'd say, under 60% health, you're probably going to die. Now, unfortunately, I didn't even clear these mobs, so at this point in the pull, I know Land Hands is going to have to be used here because I won't have bubble to heal up. I'll just need another health bar. I used a health bar way too quick. So here I went with a ledge strat. Way less risky. And a little easier to use, I guess. And if I were to fall, I probably wouldn't take any fall damage from here. So Land Hands will be coming off, and then I'll be killing the rest of the spiders here. Now, when the big spiders die, they go ahead and spawn 4 more per big spider. I think it's 4 to 6, somewhere in there. And then you can see I kind of drop down. Spiders are good. They drop netherweb. Not netherweb, iron web spider silk, and that still has a pretty high value, and most of the time will. Your bags will fill up with a lot of whites here when killing spiders, but these I still find to be very profitable, at least on almost every time I play a TBC server, because of how many people are going to be trying to finish tailoring.
There was a lot of blues there.
Beta, I think bosses were dropping twice as many blues, and I think they should only drop 1 or 2, but we'll see. If they drop 4, that'll be a little ridiculous. Heading into our final pull of LBRS, and I'll kind of at the end, I'll even show you the pulls that right now on beta, I don't even think, even if I had enough gear, wouldn't be possible. This is the Ziggurat pull. This is the guy that drops the Annihilator plans pattern. So I kind of run up the ramp here. I grab all these guys. Keep going up, grab, pretty much you want to grab the rest of the mobs here. Get over to Ziggurat. Now, Ziggurat has one mechanic that you have to dodge no matter what. If you don't, you need to bubble it. So I stun him on cooldown. Right there, he casted it. It's a stun, I think it's called Stun Bomb. It's a 3 to 4 second stun, and in the event of you getting hit, you will die if you have all the mobs on you. So just watch his cast, make sure you're dodging it, run away like 2 or 3 yards. You might have to use freedom. You might have a net on you while he's casting it, and then you're gonna need to freedom and get away. He wants to stun you so he can run away and start shooting you. He seems to be a ranged mob. So if you're ever netted, he's scripted to immediately run away from you and then start doing his ranged abilities. So just be careful when you're fighting him. He will always drop 5 healing potions, 5 major mana potions, so he's nice to kill if you're going to be using some consumables while farming. And occasionally he might drop the Annihilator pattern, which may or may not have value. I'm not sure. We'll kind of end up seeing what it'll be worth.
But, you know, his gear's really bad, and he makes it look easy. You know, imagine like in full tier 5.
Now, I'm used to, on private servers, I'm used to pulling ogres and being totally fine. What I found out on beta was this bleed that I start getting, well, it ends up stacking to the point of it doing like 1,000 DPS to me. It caps at 20 stacks. Like, I'm blocking a lot of their attacks here, but you can see the blood coming out of my Paladin. I just lose health. Like, even pop trinket, and it ends up not even, like, my health doesn't even go back up because the bleed. And I'm gonna actually post a shot of recount or the combat log and kind of go over how much damage it's doing to me, because honestly at this point that pull is not possible solo. You can see on one of my other pulls, when the mobs got low, they ran and got some of the ogres, and you can see I end up dying here. This is literally called LBR's fail on one of my video clips. I pull the ogres, they put the bleeds on me, and I end up dying because I just don't have enough left in the gas tank to finish the pull. And here will be the other pull. This is after Ziggurat.
It's kind of good that he shows it going wrong as well. Do you know what I mean? As in, rather it just being, oh, look how easy it is, and just, like, you know, showing you what he wants to show you. He is actually showing you where it goes wrong and what you can do. And yeah, I think that's quite cool, actually. It's not what a lot of people would do.
Even on private servers, this pull was always tricky because of these summoners. They teleport you around constantly, meaning your consecration has very low uptime. This ended up being, I thought, wasn't going to be too big of a problem. They ended up stunning me. They do like a kick debuff. You can see it there. And the second I get stunned, I die. So you die pretty quick. I mean, overall, LBRS currently with the gear that I have on the beta really wasn't optimal for LBRS. You need a lot more block, and I can run heroics and get badge gear and la-di-da-di-da, but I wanted to try to do it with kind of that non-min max gear, and it was difficult. It really was. It wasn't super easy. So if you are going to go in there with lesser gear, just keep the pulls pretty small and you'll be totally fine. But I would assume by the time you're in like full tier 4, LBRS will be very profitable. I use just static numbers, like what things are currently valued at, and what, even if like Rune Cloth ended up being double the price it is right now, this is anywhere between 200 and 400 gold an hour, which is a lot. I was surprised with how much silver. I think after doing my first trip to vendor, I vendored 120 gold and I looted already 90.
That's crazy.
200 raw gold, and then a good amount of greens to DE. My farm videos, when TBC Classic does come out, I'll break down everything. Like, I will show all my bags, show everything, and I'll do a whole breakdown. But that's where I'm currently assuming LBRS will be worth, which is really good. And if the Doom Guards, or yeah, I guess if the Warlock portals can be abused, maybe the sky is the limit with how much gold you can make in here, because that'll be really good for large brilliance, let alone just vendoring. Like, if you can infinitely spawn bosses that vendor swords for 4 to 5 gold each, I could probably kill 20 or 30 of those bosses at a time. And they also drop demonic runes, which are really good for raiding as well. So those will always I'll be excited to see what I can do in LBRS because I'll be spending a lot of time in there when it comes out. As always, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys have any questions or comments, toss them down below. Hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to conversing with any of you guys. A lot of the content I've released, I've had a lot of good discussions with people in the comments, and I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in TBC Classic.
Yeah, so I mean, wait, like 200 gold, yeah, 200 gold an hour, but that was on the low end, so 2 to 400 gold an hour. Let's say you average 350 gold an hour. Well, let's say 300. I mean, you're only talking a couple of days, you know, casually, couple of days, few days farming, and you've got your epic flying. And you've got no competition. Yeah, that's the main thing. You've got literally no competition. It's just you're in there, you're grinding away. I mean, I think that's pretty decent. And I don't put, like, oh, Scottejaye reacts to a cat falling off an ironing board, you know, but I probably will put this on YouTube, to be fair. Just to, you know, get Kael's name out there a little bit more as well. And, yeah, people might go and watch his work, because that was quite good. Well, not quite good, it was very good. I enjoyed it, so thank you, Dr. Kael.